Okay, so keeping the hips grounded, we're going to work through 5 more deep breaths, feeling some tension release through the upper body and neck. Taking a big breath in through your nose. And exhale everything out through your mouth. Working through a couple more on your own time. Just becoming aware of the breath now, that natural inhale, exhale as you settle it down, either through the nose or mouth, whichever you prefer or find most comfortable. And yoga's a movement meditation, okay? So you want to be moving with your breath. So stand seated as long as it feels okay in your knees and your hips. We're going to place the hands wherever comfortable and work through a few head circles round in one direction. If anyone's been sat at the desk during the day, this should feel quite good to release off a bit of tension through the neck and shoulders. So making big circles in one direction, bringing the chin all the way up at the top and chin to chest at the bottom. And making the circles in the other direction. See how this sway feels. Nice and gentle. And bring the head back to center once you're done. Giving the shoulders a few rolls now. So we're going to pick them up and roll forwards first. So we're just going to do some gentle shoulder rolls. Again, keeping the spine neutral. And coming back as well. So shoulders up and back. Keeping the spine neutral. And then we want to sit the shoulder blades back and down. So there's a nice gap between the ear and shoulder. We're going to relax the arms down now either side of you as we take a big breath in. Exhale as we lower your right ear down towards your right shoulder. So just gently stretching out that left side. Allow the head to relax down. And again, bring your awareness back to your breath. Feeling some tension release as you exhale. And gently bring the head up. You can use the right hand to support the head on the way up. Inhale as you lift and lengthen. Let's go straight into the other side. Slowly lowering the ear down towards the shoulder. Feeling some tension release through that upper trap. Holding for another 3 breaths. And bring the head back to center once you're done. Inhale as you lift and lengthen. This time we're going to bring the chin down. So you look down. You can either stay here or interlock the hands onto the top of the head. And just feel a gentle stretch through the back of the neck. And slowly come on out. Bringing the spine back to neutral. So we're going to work through some seated cat-cows now, really focusing on the chest and the upper back. Your upper back is the thoracic part of the spine. So we won't be doing much movement through the hips like a normal cat-cow. With this seated cat-cow, we're going to inhale as we round the spine, tuck the chin. Really focus on bringing the shoulders forward. So this is called flexion in the spine. As we tuck the chin, you might feel a gentle stretch through the upper neck. Exhale as we lift and lengthen. We go past the neutral spine and go into extension. Maybe you lift the chin so you get stretched through the front of your throat. Make sure it feels comfortable in the back of the neck. And then inhale as we slowly bring it back down into that cat shape, round in the spine. Exhale as we lift and lengthen. Coming into that extension, lift the head, open the chest, and slowly bring it back down. So in sort of physio terms, they would move through this movement and call it like a good posture, bad posture. So really exaggerate both movements. As you round the spine, that's your bad posture. And then exhale as you really lift and lengthen, exaggerating that good posture. So you even lift the head, open the chest. Let's work through 2 more. And bring the body back to center. So finding that neutral position. You might feel like you can lift up a little bit higher now, and the shoulders might feel a little bit more relaxed down away from the ears. So from here, we're going to bring the hands in line with the shoulders. If you feel like your shoulders are quite tight, just bring them a bit wider, okay? The closer you go, the more flexibility you'll need. So just make sure it's comfortable, nothing too intense. The feet come wider than the hips, and we're going to roll the shoulder blades back and down. So again, we're opening up the chest, lift the head, and find that extension. So we're getting a little stretch through the chest. See how that feels, and you're lengthening the front of the body here. So taking a big breath in, feel the belly lift as you inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to round the spine back into that cat shape, bad posture. And exhale as we lift and lengthen. So exactly like we did in your seated position, now the hips are on the floor. You might feel the tailbone tuck under at the bottom. Let's just work through a couple of these. And you can either work through this if it feels good, or as you lift and lengthen into that extension, you can lift the hips with you. So it's quite an active stretch. You lift the hips, open the shoulders still, engage the back of the body, and you're lengthening the front of the body. And then slowly bring the hips down. Inhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, shoulders come forwards. Exhale as we lift and lengthen. In your own time, if this is feeling good, let's work through another 5 more. Just to really warm the body up, get the blood pumping. Hips come up nice and high. You'll probably feel the shoulders and triceps start to wake up here. Let's do one more. Lift the hips up nice and high. Stay strong in the arms. And exhale as we bring it down. Keeping the hands where they are, the feet stay where they are, the hips are down. Just lift and lengthen in the spine, and we're just going to rock the knees side to side just to warm up the hips. And this is internal, external rotation, so really good if you are at the desk most of the day, just to get the blood flow through the hips, get a little stretch. As you drop one knee in, don't worry if you don't touch the floor, just aim to keep the hips down on the mat, your sitting bones. And then the knee will just allow, as far as it feels comfortable, don't sort of force it, okay? So gently rocking side to side. You might drop in a little bit deeper as the reps increase. And in your own time, let's bring the body all the way around to all fours. So giving the wrist a little shake if you need to. Let's sit the hips back, relax the head, and get a nice big stretch in the back of the body as we find your child pose. Hips comes down towards the heels, relax the head down towards the mat. Let's take 5 breaths here, breathing into the belly. And exhale everything out through the mouth. Feeling the body slowly relax, giving the mind a chance to calm. And if you feel like you're distracted, just use this time to really tune in with the present moment and how you're feeling right now. Okay, so you can come back to this pose at any point during the practice. On your next inhale though, we're going to come up to all fours. We're finding a neutral spine. Tuck the toes, lift the hips into your first down dog. So the hips come up nice and high, you spread the fingers, arms are straight. And yeah, if you're new to down dog, really bend into the knees. That will help with your flexibility. And you want to try and lift the tailbone up towards the sky. We're going to hold it here for 5 more breaths. So we're really waking up the arms. You can either stay still, or if it feels good for you, you can walk through your legs and just bend into one knee at a time. As you bend into one knee, you probably feel the back of the leg begin to stretch anywhere in the calf muscles, the hamstrings, or the lower back. Nice, so staying strong in the arms. Let's work through a couple more. And then on your next exhale, let's step the feet all the way up towards the hands. Release off the shoulders, and we're going to hold on to the elbows here. Again, bend into the knees as much as you need to. You don't want any intense pain through the back of the knee. Relax the head, hold on to the elbows, and you can rock side to side. So all of these stretches today are quite restorative, so they're really good for relaxing the body, the mind, and overall hopefully make you feel good. So tucking the chin to chest. This one helps decompress the spine, so it creates some space between the vertebrae and the muscles begin to sink the other way than normal. So gravity is helping stretch out the upper back. So really relax. You can rock side to side. When you're ready, let go of the elbows and slowly roll up through your spine, one vertebra at a time, leaving your head last and bringing the body up to standing. So spreading the toes, engage the front of the body as you take a big breath in. Exhale everything out as we forward fold. Ground the hands in line with the shoulders. Step into your high plank. We're going to lower the knees here. Control the upper body down as you bend into the arms. Always keep the core engaged there. From here, we're going to reach out with your right arm. So the hand comes in line with the shoulder. We're going to roll onto that shoulder. Keep the shoulder on the mat. You can pick up this left foot over the leg, right leg, or on top. Relax the head. And with this left hand, I'll show you this way as well if you need to. With your left hand, you can just gently place it next to you for support. Hold in here for 5 deep breaths. If you don't feel it, normally in my classes, sometimes people come too low and they're just not feeling any stretch. So always lift the hands up a bit higher and that will get deeper into the shoulder and bicep. Okay, if you're not feeling it. And you're lengthening the deltoid muscles. Let's hold for another 3 breaths. Checking in with the body, see how it feels for you. And on your next exhale, slowly unwind, bring the body back to center and we'll go straight into the left side. Reach that left arm out, nice and straight, in line with the shoulder or higher. Relax the head and gently breathe into the stretch. Perfect. So this stretch will help if anyone is feeling like they ever do get into that bad posture, so that position we were doing at the start. This will help lengthen and open into the good posture position, okay? The position you want to be to have a nice strong spine. Holding for another 3 breaths, checking in and see how it feels on this side. And on your next exhale, let's bring it back in. Hands come underneath your shoulders. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So the elbows come in tight, push up onto your knees. So make sure the core's engaged here. And then bring the hips back into your child pose. Relax the head. Rocking side to side. From here, stepping the hands over to the right. So we're going to walk the hands around. Lengthen out your left arm and relax the head down. Let's take 5 deep breaths here. You can rock into this left shoulder if you like. Feeling the side body really lengthen here. When you're ready, let's walk the hands back to center and over to the left. Reach and extend with that right arm. And again, you can rock into this right shoulder. Relaxing the head down and the hips lower towards the heels. And bringing the body back to center. Inhale as we come up to all fours. Let's find that nice neutral spine. We're going to step the right foot in between the hands now. Okay, make sure the back knee's comfortable. You can always pop a cushion underneath. Inhale as we lift and lengthen through the spine. Allow that front knee to come over the toes. Try and keep the front heel down. Exhale as we slowly bring it back. Bend into the front knee as much as you need to. You can lift the toes towards you and then slowly repeat. So we're going to work through this one in your own time. Taking it really slow with each movement. And never push through pain. So you're just listening into your own body. Perfect. Let's bring it forwards. The knee comes just over the ankle now, because we're not just stretching, it's an active stretch, so you need to be safe in the joints. So make sure that right knee's just over the ankle, spread your front foot. We're going to tuck the back toes and lift up into a high lunge. Engage that left thigh, so you're protecting the knee. Squeeze your left glute also. From here, stay here if you need to, or let's try and reach up with your right arm. So we come up into a nice big twist. Maybe look at that right hand and just feel some length in that right chest muscle. You can work through the hands, so you can make some circles with that right wrist. And change direction. Keeping your balance. And slowly unwind. Let's lower that back knee down. Take a big breath in and exhale as we slowly sit the hips back. Make sure that you're comfortable. We're going to hold for 5 breaths. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bring that head down towards the knee. And these are your hamstring muscles. These become tight from running, walking. A lot of football players normally have tight hamstrings. So if you're feeling quite tight here, this is a really good one to do to release off a bit of tension. And then slowly bring it back forwards. Okay, control that front foot back. We're going to bring the spine back to neutral. The knees are underneath the hips, hands come underneath the shoulders. We're going to work through 4 cat-cows now. So inhales, we come down into that flex position, lift the head. Exhales, we round, into your flex position. So this is your cat shape. Lowering down into your extension, this is your cow. Like we did before, we did it seated before. In this tabletop position, you get a little bit more into the hips, so really focus onto the hips now. Lift the tailbone at the bottom and think about tucking the tailbone under at the top. Move into your own breath. And from here, we're going to finish in your cat pose. So the position where you're flexed, round in the upper back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, and we're going to rock side to side here. So we're loosening off the upper back. The arms are staying straight. As you put one weight into one hand, you should feel that muscle release. So it's your middle traps and your rhomboids. And then on your next exhale, let's bring the hips back, relax the head and find your child pose. Taking a few deep breaths here. Allow the elbows to relax down on the floor. And if anyone's feeling tight in their shoulders, you can bring the arms either side of your legs in your child pose. Taking one more big breath in. And on your next exhale, slowly come on out, finding your neutral spine. Tuck the toes, lift the hips into your downward facing dog. Hips are nice and high. Keeping the arms strong for another 5 breaths. Like we did earlier, same time. Bend into the knees if you need to. Keep the hips high, and you can walk out the legs if you prefer, or just keep this stillness position. Always make sure the head's relaxed here. Shoulders come away from the ears. On your next inhale, let's slowly walk the feet up towards the hands, and we're back into that forward fold. Just see how it feels now. Now we've loosened off the back of the hips a little bit. Maybe you're dropping a bit deeper. We're actually going to toe heel the feet wider now, so they're in line with the hips. Still facing forwards. We're going to step the left hand in front of the right foot. You can either ground the hands, come up onto the tiptoes, or if you don't reach the floor, just come onto the shin. Wherever you are, slowly reach up with the right arm. So we reach, get a nice twist through the spine. See how that feels in your shoulders, and really bend into that left knee. Really open with that right arm. And exhale, slowly release. Coming straight into the other side. So the right hand comes in front of that left foot, and let's reach up with the left arm. Okay, and then you want to bend into your right knee. And exhale, slowly release. Giving your shoulders a little shake if you need to. Let's roll up through your spine, bringing the body up to standing. Okay, we're going to work through, this one's called standing pigeon. I haven't done it with any of you guys before, but we've done pigeon on the floor. We're going to do a balance before we go into the other side on the flow. So we're going to ground the right foot because we're working the right leg at the moment. The left knee comes, I'll face you, the left knee comes up. Either stay here if you need a wall for balance, grab a wall or a chair. And then from here, we're going to turn this knee out. So we externally rotate, pop it on the right knee. And then you bend, okay? Flex the foot, slowly bend into that right knee. Okay, and this one's really good. You should be feeling it in that left glute. Keep it here. The hands can either use the wall or chair or to center. If you are coming to center, really lengthen through the spine. Keep holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming out. Well done. So we haven't done that one before. If that felt okay, then good work. And it's definitely one we can all practice all the time. So let's come up to the start again, spreading the toes. Big breath in as we reach the arms up. Exhale as you take a big breath out, forward fold. Let's find your high plank. Engage the tummy muscles. You can either bend the knees here or let's lower down on your toes. Nice. We come down onto the floor again. Untuck the toes. This time we're going to bend into your right elbow. So we make a right angle. Spread the right hand and let's roll onto that right side. Relax the head. Taking 5 deep breaths. Feel the muscles relax. And this one gets into your pectorals, so a little bit deeper and a larger muscle than the one we did before. Big breath in and exhale as you slowly release. Coming onto the other side, so bending into your left elbow. Slowly roll onto the arm, relax the head and use that right hand for support. And exhale as we slowly release. Bring both hands underneath the shoulders. Let's push up onto your knees so we find all fours and bring the hips back into your child pose. Relax the head. Make any extra stretches that you might need or just rest in this pose for another 3 breaths. On your next inhale, let's step your left foot forward. So the left foot comes in between the hands. Inhale as we lift and lengthen through the spine. Exhale as we bring it back. So like we did on the other side, taking it nice and gentle, allowing the knee to go over the toes to get a stretch in the back of that front ankle. And always keep that front knee soft as you bring it back. Finding your lunge, so grounding that front foot, bring that left knee just over the ankle, tuck the back foot, find your high lunge, engage that right leg, either stay here or let's find a twist, reaching up with your left arm, open the chest, and we can work through your whole wrist here, loosen off a bit of tension, and change direction, see how that feels. Stand nice and strong in the legs. And slowly release. Grounding that back knee. Inhale as we lift and lengthen. Exhale as we gently bring it back. Holding for 5 breaths in this forward fold. Inhale as you lengthen the spine. Exhale as we lower the head towards your knee. Keeping the ankle and knee relaxed. Feel some tension release again in your hamstring muscles. And in your own time, bring it forward, ground the hands, and let's bring this front foot back. Come into all fours, making sure the knees are underneath the hips, spread the fingers. And again, let's work through a few more cat-cows, realigning the spine. Should feel like you've really got this movement now. And then bring the spine to neutral. So we're going to make a larger gap in between the hands and feet. So let's just walk the hands forwards in front of the shoulders. We're going to reach up with your right arm. Take a big breath in as we reach and lengthen. Exhale, let's bring it through. We're going to hone this stretch rather than wrap it out. Allow the shoulder to meet the mat. Face the palm up towards the sky. Either use your left hand for support, or you can reach up with your left arm. So the left arm can come off the floor, but place it down if you need to. If your left hand is up, you can bend into your left elbow and reach for your right thigh. A little bit of a puzzle, but it does feel good. And rather than having it up, okay, it adds a little bit of support, twisting round. Okay, so allowing the head and shoulders to relax. As long as this feels comfortable, we're going to hold for another 3 breaths. Feeling some tension release through the back of the body. And you're creating a twist in the spine. Taking your time to slowly untangle. So grounding that left hand on the mat. Slowly come on out with that right arm. Reach up and let's bring it back down. Okay, coming straight into the other side. Inhale as we reach up with your left arm. Open the chest and let's twist it through. Palm faces up, shoulder meets the mat. Relax the head down. Let's hold for another 5 breaths. This feels good, keep it here. Or let's reach up with the right arm. Maybe bend into the right elbow and reach for that left thigh. Big breath in and slowly untangle on your next exhale, grounding that hand, bringing the body back to center, finding a neutral spine. Inhale as we tuck the toes, lift the hips, let's find your downward facing dog. Hips are high, again bend into the knees as much as you need to. And then take your time to walk your feet up towards your hands, coming into a forward fold. Nice and slowly roll it up through your spine, leaving your shoulders and head last. So we are going to come on to pigeon on the other side, standing pigeon. So your left foot's grounded this time. Again, use a chair or wall if you need to. The right knee's turned out and we bend into that left leg. Okay, so it's sort of like a 1-leg squat and we're stretching out that right leg. Hands can come to center, roll the shoulders back and down, and let's hold for another 5 breaths. Keeping this balance. And slowly come on out. Well done. Giving the legs a little shake if you need to. Let's bring the feet just a little bit wider than the hips and work through some gentle circles. Circling round in one direction. Get a bit of movement into the hips. And back the other way, nice and slow. Perfect. So you can either keep the feet there or go a bit wider for your forward fold. The feet do face forward, so the long edge of your foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Big breath in as you lift and lengthen a slowly forward fold. So this one's quite nice because it gets into the inside of the hips, so your adductors. Relaxing it down like we always do in your forward folds, keeping the head heavy, the shoulders relaxed. In this wide position, you can stay here if you're happy and that feels good, or you can bend into one knee and lengthen the other leg, and we can just rock it side to side. That will just increase the stretch through the inner thighs. Okay, if you want to go a bit wider, then change your position, you're more than welcome. So this one's good to get a bit of movement through the knees, the ankles and the hips. Maybe you start to bend into the knee and go a little bit lower. Feeling the hips really stretch out. And then bring it back to center once you're done. So we're gonna bend into the right knee now. Again, just as far as feels comfortable. The hands stay in line with the shoulders. Okay, so the hands are down. Slowly bend into that right knee. And just hold the stretch for 5 deep breaths. Just bend into that right knee as far as feels comfortable. Try and keep length in the spine. On your next exhale, let's bring it back up. Inhale as we bend into that left knee, straighten your right leg. Again, bend into it as much as you can to feel a stretch. Always working with your own edge. And exhale as you bring it up. You can either repeat that or we're going to add a twist with the arms. If you do add a twist, you want to walk the hands over to the right foot. So only a little bit, you just step it across towards the right. Bend into the right knee. Okay, left leg straight. Either stay here if that's enough or let's reach up with the left arm. So you just add a bit of a twist, reaching up with that left arm. Open the chest. And exhale as you bring it down. Let's walk across to the left, bending into your left knee, lengthen out that right leg. Either stay here or reach up with that right arm, coming into a twist. And exhale as you bring it down. Bring the hands back to center. Inhale as you lengthen the spine, hands come onto your hips. Lead with the chest as you come all the way up to standing and engage your glutes at the top. Toe heel the feet in, just wider than the hips for your standing triangle. So this is going to be your last standing pose. The right foot turns out, the long edge of the foot parallel to the long edge of the mat. The left foot is still facing the same way, parallel to the short edge of the mat. The feet, the heel of the front foot wants to come in the center of that left foot. Imagine you're in a corridor, so the hips go to the left, arms reach towards your right foot. Exhale as we lower it down. Okay, open up that left shoulder, engage your inner thighs. Let's hold for another 5 breaths. This is an active stretch, so you're working the muscles here as well. And exhale as we slowly bring it on up. Going straight into the other side, turning that foot in to face forwards, left foot faces out. Hips towards the right, arms towards the left. And exhale as we bring it down. Reaching up with that right arm, open up that right shoulder. And exhale as we bring it back up to seated. Bringing the legs at the front. Let's bend into the knees and bring the body all the way down onto the floor for your last couple of stretches. So let's lie down to begin with. Relax the head. Make sure that you're comfortable and warm. Okay, allowing the spine to just naturally curve. Breathe into the belly and exhale and just feel the shoulders and head relax down onto the mat. Okay, so we're going to start with some hip circles, keeping the head and shoulders relaxed, grabbing into the knees. Let's just slowly circle the legs round in one direction, loosening off the hips. And the opposite way, see how that feels. The legs should be coming heavy and relaxed now. and then bringing the knees back to center. We're going to ground the hands in line with the shoulders, palms facing down. If they don't touch the floor, pop a cushion underneath. Take a big breath in as you bring the knees up towards the chest. Notice your abdominal muscles are engaged. Exhale as we lower both knees to the right. So just dropping them down, feeling a gentle twist. Inhale as we bring the knees back to center. Exhale as we lower to the left. So this is an active movement. We're working through the core muscles to lift the legs. Inhale as you lift, exhale as we lower back to the right. We're just going to rock it side to side, feeling the lower back slowly release. It's really good for your obliques and your abdominal muscles. You might feel a gentle stretch in the chest. Let's do a couple more each side. And bringing it back to center. Grounding the feet in line with the hips. The hands come either side of you. We're going to take a big breath in, tuck the tailbone, slowly lift the hips up. So we come into a nice glute bridge. Lengthening the front of the legs and hips, engaging the back of the legs and hips. Pushing up through your heels. Keep in this position for another 3 breaths. And exhale as we slowly bring it down. So for this back bend or position to help lengthen and open the front of the body, you can either repeat that glute bridge or you can add your hands underneath and roll the shoulder blades back and down. That feels quite good. Or if anyone wants to repeat the tabletop we did at the start, this one's quite active. You can see how that one feels now. Or if you want to make it a little bit harder, you lengthen the legs and do a full reverse plank. So the arms are straight, lift the hips. Okay, and you're again getting that open position through the chest and hips. Wherever you are, let's hold for another 5 breaths. I'll go through that first one. So lifting the hips, hands together, arms are straight, and you roll the shoulder blades back and down. Wherever you are, focus on keeping the hips high. And you are in a posterior tilt with the tailbone. So you want to tuck the tailbone under so the lower abdominals are engaged. On your next exhale, let's release the hands, slowly lower the hips and bring the knees back up towards your chest. We're going to do a few rock and rolls. So these rock and rolls are really good for your spine mobility. Okay, nice to do on a hard floor. And you're also using your core muscles to lift the body up to seated. So see how that feels for you. If you feel like you want to get a deeper stretch in the lower back, you can allow the toes to go over the head. Okay, so as you rock back, see if you can allow the toes to drop. Don't worry if you can't, that's fine. Just be aware of the neck if you are. And let's bring it all the way up to seated. Okay, so grounding the feet, we're going to do one core exercise to lower the body back down onto the floor. So the palms face up, we tuck the tailbone under, really slowly we're going to lower the lower back down, so the 1 vertebra at a time, nice and controlled. Notice the lower ribs are pulling towards the hips, you're crunching the abdominals, drop the lower back down and hold. This is like a dish shape. We're going to hold it here for 10 seconds, maybe lift up the legs. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Hugging into the knees, rock it side to side, taking a few deep breaths, allowing the belly to relax. Okay, so we're going to add an inversion. So the other inversion we did today was a forward fold, which is really good for circulation. So we're going to do one where we lift the legs up. I think I've done this one with you before. So just slowly lengthening the legs. You can pop your feet against the wall if you feel like your legs are coming away from you. Notice that your femur bone, the biggest bone in the body, is just balancing in your hip and socket joint. Bend and soften into your knees and really soften into the ankles here as well. So we're just relaxing into this position, finding a bit of stillness. And you are balancing the bones, okay? There's no muscle activation here. This is really good to relax the joints as well as the muscles. Really good for any water retention that you might have around the ankles. If you think during the day you are on your feet all day, so this should be quite a nice release. You can also do it with the arms. So if you do want to give it a go, you bring the hands up, again, in line with the shoulders. So that humerus joint, bone, your arm bone, just rests in the socket of your shoulder, okay? Again, see if you can just feel a bit of a balance. The elbows will soften. You can close down the eyes and just see if you can really hold it there effortlessly. The fingers might curl. And like I said, if it's effort to hold, pop your feet against the wall. As you come out, really mindfully bend into the knees, bend into the arms, waking the body back up. Hugging into the legs, and again, we can rock it side to side. Nice. We went through that standing pigeon earlier. We're just going to work through that same stretch on the floor now. So let's cross the left foot over. So the left foot comes on the right knee. Make a triangle shape with that left leg. Flex the left foot. You can interlock the hands through the triangle behind the back of that right leg and just gently bring the right leg towards you. Holding for a few more breaths. And then really slowly untangle. And let's go straight into the other side. So making a triangle with your right leg, flexing into that right foot, interlock the hands underneath the back of that left knee in between the triangle. And gently bring it towards you. So this side might be tighter or looser, just ease your way into it. And you're flexing the foot on that right leg just to protect that right knee. If anyone feels like there's pressure in the knee, just come on out. But flexing the foot should support the area. And on your next exhale, let's slowly untangle. You can work through the ankles if you like, if that's a bit of pressure on the knee. You can circle through the ankles. Make any extra stretches if you need to here, so maybe through the wrists or any twisty shapes that you might need. But when you're ready, we're going to come into a lying down position. Okay, I'm just going to go for a little bit of mindfulness to finish. If anyone needs to shoot, feel free. But this is very beneficial, especially after a yoga practice. It gives the body a chance to realign, rest, and adjust, as well as the mind. So finding a comfortable position. You can also sit up if you prefer, if you feel like you're going to fall asleep if you lie down. So closing down the eyes wherever you are. And like we did at the start, make sure you have a neutral spine to make sure you can get a full breath in and a full breath out. Notice any tension in the body. As you breathe out, see if you can relax that area. Okay, and we're going to work through a little breathing exercise, and the goal is not to get to 10. The goal is to focus on your breath in the moment, okay? Don't think about the goal or the end aim. Think about the current breath that you're breathing in and out. Okay, so we're going to work through one inhale, big breath in, and exhale. That's number one. As we go for another inhale and exhale. That's 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2, 2. Inhale, exhale, 3, 1. So we work all the way up to 10 and you count your way up, but always focus on that moment and that current breath. So the numbers are 1, and then you do 2 breaths, 3 breaths, 4 breaths, but you can count it as 1 breath, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. Okay, and it's a really good tool to have. And if you do make your way to 10, that's great because you kept your focus there. And if you ever feel stressed in the future, it's just a nice tool to come back to. Or if you're struggling with sleep in the evening, it's a great breathing exercise to help relax the body as well as the mind. So I'm going to give you a few minutes now just to work through this practice, keeping a neutral spine and just focusing in on that natural breath, either through the nose or mouth. Inhale for 1. Inhale for 2, 1. Inhale for 2, 2. Inhale for 3, 1. Inhale for 3, 2. Finishing off in your own time. If you are, really slowly wake up the body, and if you are working through that technique, feel free to carry on, okay? And I can turn your screen off. If you're ready to, though, bring your knees maybe up towards your chest. You can rock side to side through the hips. And really slowly roll onto one side, using your hands for a comfortable seat. And you're all done. Well done, guys.